Hello and welcome. You're watching 6 Stories at 6 with me, Tanisha Awasthi. Let's quickly take you through the key agenda-setting stories that we're tracking on this edition. First up, Mamata Banerjee amid Waqf protest has met the Imams and she has given her open support for the anti-Waqf amendment protest. Meanwhile, the trouble is only mounting for the Vadra Gandhi family. The Congress in panic mode staged a nationwide protest today, but they were caught red-handed, and we will get you the details of that. Meanwhile, a huge showdown took place in Delhi University's Lakshmi Bai College, where the protest was over smearing of cow dung, and the DUSU president joins us live on that tonight. In Maharashtra's Nasik, clashes erupted during the demolition of an allegedly unauthorized dargah. We have a ground report from there which tells you the reality on what actually happened in Nashik. Now, in a shocker from Gurugram, air hostess on ventilator in a renowned hospital was sexually assaulted by the staff allegedly. We get you all the details on that as well. And finally, it remains to be seen on who blinks first. Will it be the United States or China? This after Trump steps up pressure and China is now facing up to 245% additional tariffs for their retaliatory move. So these are the 6 stories that we have lined up for you, starting first up with our top story, ladies and gentlemen. Last week, the scenes from West Bengal that came to our homes and our screens shocked every Indian. Now, the protest that started as a resentment to the Waqf Amendment Act got violent. So much so that public property was vandalized, stones were pelted by minors, and Hindu temples were targeted by the protesters. These visuals that you see on your screen were from Murshidabad. Now, Hindus were targeted in the garb of Waqf protest. This forced them to displace. But viewers, what is even more shocking is the statement of the West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. She says that the violence over the Waqf law was pre-planned, and this was done by the BJP. She also goes on to suggest a conspiracy by the Union Home Minister Amit Shah. Not just that, in fact, in a meeting with the Muslim clerics in Kolkata today, the Trinamool Congress chief assured them that the party was in the forefront of fight against the Waqf law and urged them, in fact, to engage in peaceful protests. Listen into this.
मैं पहले कभी नाम नहीं लिया उनका, लेकिन अगर होम मिनिस्ट्री खुद कालिदासेर मतो जे गाছে বসে আছে সেই গাছের ডাল যদি ভাঙে তাহলে তো বলতে হবেই ভাই সবচেয়ে দেশের ক্ষতি করেছেন আপনি। মোদিজিকে আমি রিকোয়েস্ট করব দয়া করে লোকটাকে কন্ট্রোল করুন। উনি সমস্ত প্ল্যান তৈরি করছেন। এন্ড মুর্শিদাবাদ জেলা হলেও সিটটা কিন্তু মালদার মধ্যে পড়ে এবং ইটস এ প্রি প্ল্যান্ড কমিউনাল রাইটস ইফ আই সে সো, কারণ আমিও পাবলিকের কাছ থেকে অনেক ইনফরমেশন পাচ্ছি।
Now remember, 3 people died and several were injured as Bengal's Murshidabad and South 24 Parganas district witnessed widespread violence during the protest over the passage of the Waqf law. Now, among the deceased were a father-son duo whom were hacked to death by a mob in Shamsherganj. Now, there were reports of Bangladeshi linked to the violence. Now, latching onto the same charge, Mamata Banerjee today claimed that the BSF, which guards the 2,200 kilometer of Bangladesh border along with Bengal, was responsible for letting miscreants in from the neighboring country. Listen into the statement.
কালকে আমি একটা এএনআই টুইট দেখলাম, হোম मिनिस्ट्री सोर्स के कोट করে বলেছে इसमें बांग्लादेश का हाथ है। अगर हाथ है तो इसको जमींदारी तो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का है कि बीएसएफ बॉर्डर संभालते हैं, हम नहीं संभालते हैं। ये अधिकार हमारे पास नहीं है, तो आपने क्यों अलाउ किया? क्यों अलाउ किया? आपको अगर मूवमेंट करना है आप इंडोर स्टेडियम में करो ना, अंदर में करो ना, कोई तो मना नहीं किया। बाहर में मत करिए। बीजेपी कोई लड़का आके हिंदू मुसलमान को भड़काएगा तो आप लोगों को एक रोल प्ले करना है। इमाम साहब को कहना है इसमें आप लोग मत जाइए, हम शांति चाहते हैं, हम शांति चाहते हैं, हम शांति चाहते हैं। हम जब तक रहेंगे हम हिंदू मुसलमान को बंटवारा करने नहीं देंगे।
Now, responding to the BJP, responding to the West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, the BJP today took a swipe at Mamata Banerjee, saying that the comment that the West Bengal Chief Minister had made was anti-national and it insulted the BSF forces. Listen into what the BJP had to say.
She is provocating the imams, the Muslim leaders, to create disturbance. It's her old practice because she destroyed the Bengal in question of employment, in question of education, in question of health, in question of poverty eradication, and in question of the overall development of our state. For that reason, the Bengal Assembly election is knocking the door. It's her appeasement politics.
मुझे लगता है आज ये जो आज ममता बनर्जी कर रही है, इट इज द हाइट ऑफ द अपीजमेंट पॉलिटिक्स। भारतवर्ष में इतना अपीजमेंट पॉलिटिक्स, देश की हित को बाजू में रखकर देश की हित को बेच डालने की जो कीमत ममता बनर्जी रख रही है, आगे आने वाले समय में ममता बनर्जी का नाम इतिहास में काले अक्षरों में लिखा जाएगा।
Moving on to the other stories that we're tracking, Robert Vadra, businessman and husband of a Congress member of Parliament Priyanka Vadra, appeared before the Enforcement Directorate over alleged irregularities in a land deal his company had made way back in 2007 and 2008. Now, this is his second day of questioning, wherein Robert Vadra claimed that the move of him being summoned was a part of a political vendetta aimed at silencing him and his brother-in-law, Congress leader and leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi. He added that he would answer the questions as a part of the investigation. Now, remember, this was the second summon that was issued to him by the Enforcement Directorate in this month, wherein Robert Vadra says that he has already answered the questions and whatever is happening today is happening on the behest of the BJP. Listen in.
मैं यही कहूंगा कि जो भी सवाल पूछ रहे हैं, ये इसके जवाब पहले मैंने 2019 में दे दिए हैं। अब फिर से मुझे समन किया गया है और उसी विषय में, और मैं यही कहूंगा कि एजेंसियों का दुरुपयोग हो रहा है। उसी समय जिस दिन मुझे समन दिया या मैं एजेंसी पे गया हूं, उसी दिन राहुल और सोनिया जी को चार्जशीट किया गया है। तो ये इनका प्रचार करने का तरीका है सरकार का कि बीजेपी की एजेंसियों को गलत इस्तेमाल किया जाए और प्रेशर डाला जाए, पर हमें इससे हम और मजबूत होते हैं।
And yes, it's not just the Vadras, but even the Gandhis are in a huge trouble. Yesterday, Rahul and Sonia were charge-sheeted in the National Herald case, after which the Congress, in panic mode, put out its workers on the streets who staged a protest outside the All India Congress Committee's office at 24 Akbar Road, condemning the BJP-led central government after the Enforcement Directorate's charge sheet against senior party leaders Sonia and Rahul Gandhi in the connection. But what was seen out of the box was this one visual, where Congress leaders' cafe hopping began even before starting the protest. The visual that you see on your screen is from Guwahati in Assam, where Congress leaders were seen gathering at an expensive coffee shop in Guwahati even before they began their protest outside the Enforcement Directorate office. Questions are now being raised if this protest was to divert the attention and if this was a protest, and what are the Congress government priorities. Now, when Republic confronted the Gandhis, watch how they went completely silent.
Rahul, what do you have to say about the National Herald case and the investigation that is being carried out? Don't touch me here. Rahul, what do you have to say about the National Herald case and the investigation that is being carried out? Don't touch me here.
The BJP, meanwhile, alleged that the Congress hatched a cooperate conspiracy to ensure that the property comes into the Gandhi family's hands. Now, the BJP says that the buyers and sellers were the Gandhis themselves. Listen in.
इस भारत के इतिहास का बहुत विचित्र प्रकार का केस है, जिसमें कि कोई कंपनी जो कि 90 करोड़ की देनदारी में बिक गई, जिसके पास हजारों करोड़ की प्रॉपर्टी थी। दूसरी दृष्टि से देखें तो एक विचित्र केस है जिसमें खरीदने वाले और बेचने वाले दोनों एक ही थे।
प्राइवेट बॉडी को पार्टी का फंड नहीं दे सकते हैं, इस बात को समझे आप। दैट इज प्योरली प्रोहिबिटेड। दिया उनकी बात है, घर की कंपनी थी। अब उसके बाद उसने कहा आपका लोन हम दे नहीं सकते, तो दे नहीं सकते तो एक बड़े इंटरेस्टिंग तरीके से एक कॉरपोरेट षड्यंत्र किया गया, कैसे ये पूरी संपत्ति आ जाए परिवार के हाथ में।
Moving on, a heated row erupted at Delhi University's Lakshmi Bai College after the Delhi University Student Union President Ronak Khatri smeared cow dung on the office walls of Principal Pratyush Vatsala in protest against her controversial classroom experiment. Now, the act captured on video shows Khatri, the DUSU president, wearing gloves and applying cow dung slurry to the principal's office, saying it was to give her a taste of her own medicine. He alleged that the principal had coated classroom walls with cow dung as a part of the research initiative without consulting the students. Here's the big showdown that happened.
बहुत अच्छी बात है। क्यों नहीं है? उनकी एब्सेंस पे तो बात होती है ना। तो बच्चे के एब्सेंस के बिना ही क्लासरूम में गोबर लगाया गया, बच्चे तो नहीं थे वहाँ पे मौजूद। क्लासरूम कॉलेज का है, आप कॉलेज के स्टूडेंट क्यों नहीं हूँ? मैं कॉलेज का, मैं डुस्सू का प्रेसिडेंट हूँ। हमारी कुछ जिम्मेदारी। क्यों नहीं आएंगे? क्यों आए हम क्लासरूम में? मैम आ जाएंगे आप। जो अधिकार स्टूडेंट को है कि उसके मौजूदगी में क्लासरूम में गोबर लगना चाहिए था। गोबर लगाया या नहीं लगाया आपको कैसे? क्यों नहीं? वीडियो है सारे, हर उसमें हर प्लेटफॉर्म पे वीडियो है। उसमें ये तो नहीं लिखा ना गोबर लगा। क्यों नहीं लिखा हुआ? काव डंग लिखा उसमें, और कैसे लिखा जाएगा? वाले लिख रहे हैं, इसका मतलब ये। अरे मैम, आप अपनी बात से मुकरिए मत। दुनिया के सामने सर्वजगित हो चुका है। वीसी साहब ने भी ये स्टेटमेंट दी है कि आप अपने जो है घर को लीपने का काम कीजिए पहले।
Now let us take you through what the controversy is all about. The controversy began when a video surfaced of Principal Vatsala supervising the application of cow dung on classroom walls. Defending the move, she explained it was a part of the research project titled Study of Heat Stress Control by using traditional Indian knowledge. Now, these are some desi efforts to ensure comfort in classrooms that are structurally neglected. Now, this is what the principal says, noting that the project was faculty-led and based on earlier research on cow dung's insulating properties. Joining us on the broadcast is Ronak Khatri. He is the DUSU प्रेसिडेंट। रौनक खत्री, हमने देखा किस तरीके से आपका जो काउ डंग पेबैक था, आपने प्रोटेस्ट किया, सेम तरीका अपनाया जो कॉलेज के प्रिंसिपल ने अपनाया। बताइए हमारे व्यूअर्स को क्या हुआ था उस टाइम पे जब प्रिंसिपल ने काउ डंग लगाया, और आप क्या रीजन की वजह से प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं, क्या एम है?
सबसे पहले मैम आपके चैनल का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। एम बड़ा ही सिंपल और क्लियर है। जो स्टूडेंट्स को मूलभूत सुविधा उन टीन शेड के क्लासरूम्स में एक एवरेज स्टूडेंट को मिलनी चाहिए थी, क्योंकि टीन शेड के क्लासरूम्स पूरे इंडिया में स्टडी करने के लिए केवल और केवल आपको दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय में मिल जाएंगे, जिनके अंदर एसी की फैसिलिटी नहीं है। जब वहां पर क्लासेस कंडक्ट होती है तो सबसे हीटेड अगर कॉलेज का कोई रूम होता है तो वो टीन शेड का क्लासरूम होता है। उसके अंदर स्टूडेंट्स की और मेरी पर्सनल तौर पे मैडम से मांग रही थी कि मैम आप इसके अंदर एसीज इंस्टॉल कीजिए ताकि स्टूडेंट बैठ के आराम से पढ़ पाए। ये हमारी मांग थी। कल जब मैं कॉलेज जाता हूँ मैडम से बात करने के लिए, परंतु मैडम वहाँ मुझसे नहीं मिलती हैं। मैंने उनको फ़ोन करा, पहले मेल के माध्यम से भी संपर्क साधने की कोशिश करी, परंतु कभी भी रिवर्ट बैक मैम की तरफ से नहीं आया। और जैसा कि आपने कहा कि जो मेडिसिन उन्होंने स्टूडेंट्स को देने का प्रयास किया था, जो एक एक्सपेरिमेंट एक रिसर्च के मेथड से यूज़ किया था, वो सेम रिसर्च हमने उनके ऑफिस में किया जो उन्होंने स्टूडेंट्स के साथ किया था।
रौनक खत्री, एक आखिरी सवाल आपसे पूछना चाहूंगी बिफोर आई लेट यू गो। क्या यही तरीका था प्रिंसिपल को जवाब देने का? क्या कोई और तरीका नहीं था? Why was there a need to give her the taste of her own medicine? Why couldn't you approach the higher authorities or the officials in this case?
डीयू का प्रशासन सोया हुआ है मैम। आज के टाइम पे मैंने मेल के माध्यम से, मेरे पास ऑन रिकॉर्डिंग, मेरे पास प्रूफ्स हैं, जो मेल मैंने लक्ष्मीबाई मैडम की जो प्रिंसिपल है उनको किया था। साथ ही साथ मैंने हायर अथॉरिटीज को 25 फरवरी को मैंने एक बहुत पीसफुल प्रोटेस्ट वीसी ऑफिस के बाहर किया था, वीसी ऑफिस घेराव के नाम से, जिसमें मेरी क्लियर मांगे थी कि हर कॉलेज की 3 शेड की क्लासरूम्स में एसीज को इंस्टॉल किया जाए। उन्होंने कहा था कि हम 10 दिन के अंदर कमेटी बना के आपकी डिमांड्स को रिजॉल्व कर देंगे, पर आज तक ना तो कोई कमेटी बनी है और ना हमारी डिमांड्स को रिजॉल्व किया गया। स्टूडेंट्स आक्रोश में है। जब मैं लक्ष्मीबाई कॉलेज जाता हूँ तो कॉलेज से निकलकर, अपनी क्लास से निकलकर एक एक बहन गर्मी में मेरा साथ देने के लिए मेरे साथ खड़ी होती है, तो वो स्टूडेंट्स की जो उनकी मूलभूत सुविधाएं उनको नहीं मिल रही, उस सुविधाओं को लेने के लिए वो मेरे साथ जुड़ती हैं। तो डीयू का प्रशासन, मैं फिर से रिपीट करूंगा, सोया हुआ है और ये बहुत ही ज्यादा नेसेसरी एक कदम था जो हमारे द्वारा लिया गया है प्रशासन को जगाने के लिए।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया खत्री जी आपका हमारे साथ बात करने के लिए। थैंक यू वेरी मच। वी मूव ऑन टू द अदर स्टोरीज दैट वी आर ट्रैकिंग इन दिस एडिशन। नाउ clashes erupted during the demolition of an allegedly unauthorized dargah in Maharashtra's Nashik. Now the police were seen engaging in pitched battles with the mob that tried resisting the demolition of the decades-old Sufi shrine in the Kathe Gali area of Pune. As many as 21 police personnel were injured in the clashes, while 22 suspects were rounded up. Take a look at this detailed ground report.
An anti-encroachment drive in Nashik took a violent turn as mobs tried to resist the demolition of a dargah. A team from the Nashik Municipal Corporation arrived to raise the Sufi shrine, which is deemed to be encroaching public space. However, the demolition team, accompanied by the police, ran into a wall of resistance as mobs tried to disrupt the raising an unauthorized structure. Tempers frayed and the situation slipped out of control after the police resorted to lathi charge and tear gas shelling to break up the mobs. Dramatic visuals showed mobs engaging in pitched battles with riot police as tensions spiraled. The demolition team comprised 40 civic staffers, 4 earth movers, 8 dumpers and 7 vehicles. The clashes left 21 police personnel injured, while 22 suspects were picked up in connection with the violence. An uneasy calm prevailed in the area in the immediate aftermath of the clashes, even as a sizable police contingent was deployed to prevent further violence. The area where the violence unfolded was cordoned off. Despite the mob violence, 90% of the dargah was razed and the debris cleared by the demolition team. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
In a bone-chilling incident, an air hostess alleged that she was sexually assaulted by the staff of a reputed Gurugram hospital while she was battling for her life in the ICU. While an FIR was registered in connection with the incident, the hospital released a statement that the charges against the staff are yet to be substantiated. However, it said that all relevant documents and CCTV feed have been shared with the police. Now remember, this comes as a shocker because the case came to light after days. This is after the patient, the air hostess who was admitted in the hospital, said that after she realized what had happened to her, she registered a police complaint. She does not, however, want to come in the public domain, and neither does her family want to come in the public domain, keeping in mind the sensitivity of the case. But Medanta has issued a statement saying that no substantial proof has been found in the case. However, they are in touch with the police to ensure that fair justice is given to the victim in the case, and that the CCTVs and the documents have been shared with the Gurugram police. And moving on to the last story that we're tracking in this edition, the Trump 2.0 administration in the United States hit China with a staggering 245% additional tariffs, making further escalation in the ongoing trade war. The additional tariffs on Chinese imports were announced less than 24 hours after Beijing put a hold on the export of rare earth minerals to America, while also suspending the purchase of US-made Boeing jets. Now, it remains to be seen on who blinks first, because remember, it is a tit for a tat when it comes to the tariff war. US is responding to China. China, in turn, is responding to the United States by imposing additional tariffs. Here's a detailed report on all that you need to know about the tariff war.
The US has just cranked up its bruising trade war with China by several notches. Marking a further escalation in the tariff blow-up, the Trump 2.0 administration in the United States has announced staggering 245% additional tariffs on Chinese imports. The latest flashpoint in the tariff war follows China deciding to cut the export of rare earth materials to the US, while also suspending the purchase of Boeing jets from US. Before the announcement of the fresh US tariffs, the quantum of levy on Chinese imports stood at 145% in response to Beijing's 125%. Significantly, Beijing has also banned the export of goods, including those used by aerospace manufacturers and military contractors, to the United States. Amid the tariff showdown, the US president authorized an investigation into the national security risks posed by Washington's reliance on imported processed critical minerals and derived products. These items include cobalt, lithium, nickel, and rare earth minerals used to manufacture smartphones, batteries for EVs, as well as military equipment. The global stock markets and investor sentiment went into a free fall as the trade war between the US and China got bigger. Amid the tit-for-tat tariffs, Trump said the first step towards a fair trade deal has to come from China.
And that's all that we could pack in this edition of 6 Stories at 6. Thank you for watching. We will be back tomorrow, same time, with more agenda-setting news. Till then, stay tuned. Coming up next after the break is Live and Breaking.